Hey friends, I'm Vaish. Welcome back to my channel. If this is the first video you're seeing on it, well, I'm really excited because this is my 2019 bullet journal setup video. I actually tried to do a bullet journal last year, but I just didn't keep up with it because I was so busy with school. And I want to start a new one this year, and I actually want to show you guys how I set mine up. If you guys want to set yours up the same way, or if you want some inspiration, then this is the video for you. And also in the description box below, I'll be linking down all the supplies I use and what my bullet journal is, and basically everything you need to know about what I use to set up my bullet journal. Without further ado, here is my 2019 bullet journal setup. So this is my Limon notebook that I got off of Amazon, and I'll link down in the description the exact link to it. And so my first page here is I'm doing the key for my bullet journal, and I'm writing the word key in cursive, and I'm actually not 100% good at doing calligraphy with my brush pens, so that's why I'm doing kind of like a fake calligraphy, if you will. You just you write it in cursive first, and then for the downstrokes you make them thicker, and then for the upstrokes you make the lines thinner. And so here I'm writing my specific icons that I use to represent each little thing. So for a task, it's just like a box, and then my in progress is a half dashed box and across the diagonal, and then completed is fully colored in square, and my delayed is I'm doing just a box with an arrow, move to the right. And here's just a full list of what I did. The next page that I'm doing is my 2019 at a glance. And so here I just basically show a full overview of the 2019 calendar. It makes it easier for me to look at it quickly to see if I'm free on a certain day or something. But it's not a place where you put events or anything, it's just a calendar. And I can just say right now that my hand started cramping so hard because I had to write every single tiny number. And here I just cut it because it was the same thing, and you just repeat it for all the months. And basically I just highlighted each of the week, and just to make a nice aesthetic with my gray mod liner. And the next page that I'm doing is actually my grid spacing chart that I actually got inspiration from Amanda Rachel. I'm gonna link her YouTube channel down in the description below, because she was a huge inspiration to me when I was making my bullet journal, because she's actually my favorite person to watch in bullet journaling. So I have to say that I definitely got this from her. I did not get this idea, but it saved me so much time. Basically, this grid spacing chart just helps me figure out, without counting the tiny squares every time, how I can divide up my page between different boxes every time that I do it. I divided my pages into halves, thirds, and quarters. I did two different types of quarters, one where they're spaced out with a box in between and it goes across the full page, and one where it's evenly spaced in the middle with some space on the outside. And I did that for vertical and landscape. And also I included the number of boxes at the end that I used for each of them. So it says 9, 8, 6, 19 and a half, because my bullet journal is 26 spaces across, so it wasn't exactly half. So I just had to say that just so I know for myself. And I color coded it just so I can see what the difference is. But you can do that however you like. But I highly recommend putting on the left side, just like Amanda said in her video, because then you can flip back and look at it easily. So here on the right side of my page, I'm drawing my 2019 goals page that I want to do. I'm just adding a kind of a flag banner thing that says 2019. I'm just drawing that in at the top and it's going to have 2019 in the different 4 flags. And I'm going to draw that over with my Pigma Micron plastic nib pen. here I'm just making where I wrote goals in bold with my Pitt pens, and I just like to write goals like emphasize because it's like really important and it kind of stands out. It gives it a pop, so that's why I did that. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually split my goals into different sections, which I've been doing for a while. Like I put it in the notes section of my phone, and I just split my goals into different sections, and that kind of helps me figure out like different ways that I can focus on one thing instead of having just a combined list of everything, or else that'd be kind of hard. But for that, I'm doing kind of like a post-it, but it's just like a piece of paper. It looks like it's attached with tape, and I'm just drawing like a bunch of squares that I evenly spaced out. And you can see that in the first box, I actually forgot to, when I was drawing it, I forgot to leave space for the tape, so I actually wrote over it. But I just use my white gel pen, and it just covers it, basically. You can't really tell. And that is actually one of the big things that I use to correct mistakes in my bullet journal, like if I mess up. So I would highly suggest anyone who does bullet journaling to have that on hand if you use pen in your bullet journals. And here I'm just outlining the rest of my boxes with my micron pen again. And you basically just repeat that for however many boxes you want. I did 6 boxes because I don't really want to overwhelm myself. I just labeled my first 3 boxes of personal, fitness, and art, and I'll just get to the rest later. The next page I'm doing here is actually my places to travel page, and I am a big person on like traveling. I just love finding new places and new cultures and stuff, especially hiking and stuff. That's like my favorite thing ever. And I love nature, and so I just wanted to add like different places I wanted to go, and the way I wanted to do it is add tiny Polaroids. And I'm just adding like a tiny paper airplane just to show like moving around the country. And I'm adding also a globe. And I wrote my places to travel at the top in cursive, but I actually didn't like how it turned out. I cut out a page from my other bullet journal from last year, and I put it on top over it. And this is just another way you can fix like a mistake in your bullet journal. I just really didn't like how it looked, so I just wrote over it again. And it kind of looks seamless. You can't really tell like in person. And I used my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to write over it. In the thick part of the Polaroid, I would like to write the name of where I want to go, and in the picture part of the Polaroid, I could just draw a picture of like where it was I wanted to go. So here I'm just drawing a picture, like a really rough picture of the lake. Eventually that's the only place I'll probably add color in the beginning, but eventually I'll add that. So the next page that I'm doing is my stuff to watch page. This is basically just a page where I can come to when someone gives me a recommendation of a movie or a TV show that I should watch. And here I'm just kind of playing around with the font that I want to do for the top. I think I saw it online when I just looked up a bunch of fonts. You can always play around with the fonts, so that's what I did for mine. But a lot of the times I did calligraphy. For the downstrokes, I would have like a thicker line. For the bottom, I would color it in and add like a tiny line above it. That's pretty much what I did for this font. Mostly everything in my 2019 bullet journal setup is pretty much just black ink and white gel pen, because I kind of like to keep things neutral, like kind of in the beginning, because the rest of my bullet journal is going to be pretty colorful compared to this part. I'm just adding like a movie reel. And I'm basically just sketching out everything before I permanently put ink on it. For the movies and TV show, I'm adding like individual like tiny cartoon drawings, just showing like what it represents. So for the movies, I'll be drawing like ticket stubs and a film reel, while for the TV shows, I'll be drawing like a TV. And here I'm just drawing a banner for where I'm going to write my movies. And there's so many different types of banners if you want to play around with that as well. I'm just trying like a wavy banner right here. And I'm writing movies in all caps in it, and I thought it looked pretty nice, and so I thought to follow the same thing for my TV shows section as well. So that will look pretty much identical. Here I'm just drawing my ticket stubs, the ones that say admit 1, and I thought that was a nice touch to it, because it basically shows like movies and stuff, and I thought that was a good representation. I wanted to actually add popcorn, but I just thought that would be too many things, so I didn't add it. But you can do it if you want. That's like a different idea if you want to do popcorn instead of like a ticket. And the pencil I'm using is actually my Graph Gear 1000 pencil I got on Amazon as well. It's really nice. I just got it recently, and I love using it to draw art, to draw things, like sketch out before I write. It just works really smoothly, and I would recommend it for anyone. It's just really durable, and I think it's going to last me a while, so I would highly recommend people getting that, even if it's a little bit more expensive than regular pencils. So here I'm doing the exact same thing like I said before that I did for the movies, and I'm writing TV shows now instead. And I always just have to erase all the time because my spacing always is different. Right now I'm drawing a TV, just like it outlined. It's going to be completely black, and I thought this would look cool because this is like the one thing you think about if you're watching TV. It's kind of like an old style television set, and I just really like the antennas and the buttons and stuff, so that's like what I did pretty much. And so now I'm just going to outline everything with my Pigma Micron pen. Here I'm just using my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen to just color it in because it makes it easier because it's so flexible. And here for my movies font, I'm basically just outlining it first before I color it in. I'm actually gonna add kind of like how they have like the signs outside with the light bulbs. I'm just gonna resemble that in my TV shows and movies. I'm coloring in the TV with my Faber-Castell Pitt pen, and they have so many different variations, and they're pretty similar to the Micron pens. I personally prefer my Faber-Castell Pit pens to the Micron, but most people like the Micron better. But it really doesn't matter. Whatever you think you like, just try it out and you'll like it. Here I'm adding the accent white stripes with my gel pen. And right now I'm just writing a list of movies that I want to watch, like Toy Story and Aladdin and Lion King. My next page I'm doing is recipes that I want to make because I'm a college student and I don't have a meal plan, so there's always recipes I'm trying to make so I'm not starving in school. So I think this would be a good list for me to make. The next page is a really important page for me this year in 2019. It's my weight loss tracker. Basically, I'm going to have a graph where I just track my weight and hopefully the whole line just starts going down after the whole year, and I just think that's a good motivation for me when I'm trying to track it. On the side, I wrote, "Hustle for that muscle." I actually didn't like how it turned out, so I'm probably going to cover it up like how I did before and rewrite it, but that's just kind of an idea of what I was going to do. This next page that I'm doing is actually, I got from Amanda Rachel Lee again. It's a year in Polaroid. Basically, you put a Polaroid that represents each month down, and at the end of the year, it'll look really nice when you can look at all the Polaroids for your whole year. And actually here at the top, I'm writing the font that I'm using, but I actually really didn't like how this turned out either, to be honest with you. And so actually what I did off camera was I colored in the whole 2 squares all the way across the row black, and I'm probably going to use my gel pen and write over it so it looks better. Here I'm just labeling my January, February, March, April, May, June, and July, and August in this bullet journal because I'm actually going to end up using 2 bullet journals. So for the first one, I'm just going to do January through August, and the second one I'm going to do September through December. Here is my future log. This is where you can add specific events, and first, I'm gonna add my January, which I'm doing with my zebra mildliners, the gray color, and over that, I'm writing in all caps, and then over that, I'm doing it in like cursive with my Pit pen, which is kind of thick, and add a tiny calendar showing like what it is for that specific month. And I'm gonna divide that with a double line underneath it. And right next to the calendar, you can add specific events, and like for January, it'd be New Year's. And what I do is I like to highlight the first number with my highlighter accent color, and then I like to write the number of the date and then put a dash next to it and add the event. So here's the final flip through of my bullet journal setup for 2019.
Hey, thanks for planning with me, guys. If you have any bullet journal theme ideas that you want me to do for the rest of the year, for the other months, you can just drop a comment in the comment section below. And if you want to see me do more plan with me's for the rest of the months, I'd be happy to. So just let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see me do. I hope you guys have a good new year, and this is late, but Merry Christmas. I'll see you in the next video. V-Dog out.